Hello everyone, welcome back. We're here. It's June 24th. My name is Katie. This is the Atelier Nekuzuki live stream of consciousness. So that means full on creative chaos right now, especially because I am well and truly out of practice right now. Also looking at my backyard. Oh Jesus, yeah, I should have cut the grass before it came on. Oh well, that's a tomorrow me problem now. Or maybe after I pick the kids up tonight, actually, after school. That's probably better. Anyway, fueled by coffee, so let's caffeinate. I was going to work on custom orders, and then I got downstairs and I realized that actually what we need to work on today is clearing some of the works in progress that I have going already. And then we'll go into the those things. Jesus. The custom orders that are on dock. There we go. That's what I was reaching for. Oh my god. Okay, so the whips that we're working on right now are the pop-up trays. We are sewing by the seat of our pants with these because honestly none of them are a standardized size. It's going to make my taxes and inventory extremely fun. That's a me problem. And what I'm just doing is basically we're going in, kind of deciding on each of them where we want everything to be. All of them are going to be like a little bit different probably because again, they're all different sizing, blah, blah, blah. So this is the chaotic portion of it. I think after that, we're going to go in and we'll do some of the mini traveler slings, maybe. We'll do something. There's so much. The weird part about this is like there's so much to do. And what I need to be doing is not cut out yet. So that's why we're going to go in and finish up some whips. And then we'll worry about the rest of it after that. I have 3 days this week to work. The kiddos aren't in summer camps yet. It's just care right now. And so we're transitioning into our new like schedule of everything. And the preschool, which is where they did go to summer camps as well, had basically what they do is they'll have a transition weekend this weekend. So the kiddos are off on Thursday, Friday, and Monday. So I won't be on in the afternoon those days, but I'm extremely glad. I didn't even really clue into the fact that they wouldn't be at school Friday and Monday until I was looking at the schedule. Canada Day is on Tuesday, so that's part of it, is that the school takes advantage of that. They're doing their transition into summer camps, blah, blah. Stuff. I don't even know right now. What was I going to say? Oh, so I'll be streaming in the evenings on those days probably, and then I'll be doing streams the next 2 days as we like transition into summer here. But yeah, I requested a couple extra days like this Tuesday. Normally I have the kids at home on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I was just like, you know what, let's transition them into their summer program for now. And yeah, I'm extremely glad now that I've clued into the fact that they weren't going to be there over the weekend basically. So nope. See, I am so out of practice, I didn't even turn my fucking machine on. Off to an excellent start. Lena is here, quality control, inspecting everything. We have definitely had a nest of baby birds, and the dad is still hanging around. Seen him up on our deck. But if you hear Flynn hunting, he is, because I think it sounds like all the birds are gone, like the baby birds are gone, but that doesn't mean that the like adult birds aren't hanging around still. So, do you know what we're also going to turn? I'm going to turn on all lights down here. I do have the windows open, so if you hear any like background noise, that's why. It's too nice to not have the windows open, and honestly, I could have been in shorts and a t-shirt, which I will remember. Next couple days. It's very humid here because we have had a shit ton of rain. Saturday was so windy and absolutely disgusting outside. just like insanity. I know I was talking like a month ago that we really needed rain. We still really need rain, because the problem with it is that it all came at once. It's like rain. It's so wild, because it's like we need rain, and then you get rain, and it's like, no, not like this. Anyway, it's supposed to like actually, I think, continue to kind of drizzle throughout the weekend, so that will be the beneficial rain. Thank fuck, a lot of it got trapped as snow in the mountains. We didn't have any disastrous floods like we did 13 years ago, but there was definitely a lot of pooling in certain areas. In the construction that they're doing in Cochrane here for the roundabouts, it actually flooded. There's a car caught in one of their like unintentional like water traps, basically. So that's fun. I was out on Saturday and I saw the like fire trucks were showing up, and they had like people diverted up on like where they're still working to construct and everything like that. It's like, holy shit. Disasters. So yeah. Kiddos are officially done. Preschool. For the summer at least. Our youngest will have preschool still next year. Our eldest is heading into kindergarten, which is insane. Definitely cried at the little graduation ceremony thing. Fuck me. It's like, God, I can't believe that they're that old now. Yeah, so that was fun. It was really cute though. It's really cool to watch their progress. We get their little like booklets with their progress. The eldest's like writing has gotten so much better this year. Stuff like that. It's really good. I got through, well, this was probably 2 years ago now, or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so not this week, but the week earlier. I got through the majority of the bins from my parents. Basically, well, my parents, my mom. So those are sorted. Selling some of the stuff, / garage selling a lot of it, which is nice because, hey, a little bit of cash in is never. Here's the thing, a lot of it I have prescribed nostalgia about it, so I'm not actually that worried about it. Yeah, I don't know. There's some things. I did get some of my preschool stuff, which actually it's been super useful now because I've got to pare down the kids. Like, what am I thinking that they'll find nostalgic? And so, like, it's helping me kind of hopefully decide some of that too, because holy shit. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was, okay. It was better than I anticipated. We had like 2 massive bins of recycling, just paper and paper and paper and paper. And I know this stuff hasn't been stored correctly, so I just recycled a shit ton of just blank paper, because it's like, well, I'm not keeping it around because I know it's been in mice. A bunch of Barbie stuff, which is good because the eldest is into Barbies right now. And some Girl Guide stuff. Like, there's some cool stuff, but it's also like, yeah, there's a couple bins of garbage, because it's just like, why? I don't need this, or whatever it was. Again, prescribed nostalgia, basically. Yeah, so got through the majority of that. Setting up kind of for also now we'll go in and like declutter our own things, hopefully. I was thinking that was going to be a June project, but honest to God, I was in such a funk this month that it just didn't happen. I'm now officially 36. It was my birthday on the 20th, so it was a wild weekend. We were supposed to be down in Blairmore for a race for Dallas called the Minotaur. It's like the world's or Canada's hardest 10K. Basically, it's a like 1,000-foot elevation change race over 10K, and it got canceled because of the weather. There was also a fatal rock slide out in Banff National Park, so I think they were taking a lot of things into consideration with this. So like, it was just, the weekend was just kind of fucked up. Yes, but we did go out to Banff on Wednesday. We had a couple drinks at the Banff Springs, which was really nice. The bar, like, I was like, I really wanted to do the patio, but I didn't realize that the bar was also like I knew the bar was there, but the pictures of the bar show it being like moody and like really good for like wintertime. Not so much for maybe a summer thing. But part of the patio actually, or like the patio is connected to the bar. And so we got this really nice view out over like the valley and everything like that. So that was really nice. Yeah, chill, I guess. Chill birthday this year. We're watching WestJet right now because WestJet is getting ready to we're watching our points for Japan, which is fun. Since their airline miles or credit card points, we're prioritizing Dallas's credit card right now so that he's better balanced with mine, because mine's usually the household card, so we just put everything through on it because why not? May as well get the points. So that just means that typically I end up with a higher point balance than he does. So I was like, okay, for the next few months, we are prioritizing yours so that we at least are like a little bit more even on our point collection. And it's going to be cheaper than air miles by a significant amount. Even now, even if we were to like buy them tomorrow without Dallas having done any more points, it would be cheaper still. So yay, I like it. It's good. What else have we done? I don't know. Like I said, I was just in a funk. I was like, I think it was a situation of, it was a little bit of burnout. It kind of smelled like depression. It wasn't actually depression. But I usually do have seasonal shifts, so it could have just been that. Usually it happens in like March though, but I think with how like April has been the past few years, it's like you don't have time to be depressed in March. Realistically, I didn't have time to be like burnt out or depressed in June either, but sometimes you don't get to choose. Anyway, I think we're better now. I have a pink tent now. So I was like, I've been needing a new tent, and I've been looking at Dallas. Was like, well, if it turns out to be pink, because we're going to use it at one of his other races, that's good. And I was like, no, I don't want a pink tent. I want a white tent. Well, we ended up with the pink tent because it had a bunch of extra doohickeys that will hang off the sides of the like poles and stuff like that. So that's super cool. I need to track down a like 3D printer to print me a sign, I think. And like it just it was right in the right price range and everything like that. And the white was sold out. And then I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, do you know what? A pink tent is better. It's like very good pink for me. It's very like sakura based kind of color, and on top of that, it's also oh god, it'll stand out because so many people do have white tents. So I was thinking about that afterwards. I'm like, no, that is actually a good strategy. So this will be the tent that goes to, we've actually added a show. We've got the pancake breakfast still, but we've got the mid-year festival with the Shinto shrine in Calgary. So we're going to have that on July 5th. And then we'll have pancake breakfast on July 12th. And then we have Omatsuri on July 18th and 19th at the Max Bell. And then we have Vibrations out in Victoria, which is the last outdoor show for the year. And then we have Knit City Vancouver. Knit City Calgary they've confirmed their dates for that as well. It's going to be the same weekend as the Vancouver show. So the last weekend in September, when it does not conflict with Truth and Reconciliation Day. And there's been a new show announced for Edmonton in June next year. My birthday weekend. So that'll be June 19th to 21st. Applications haven't gone live yet, so I don't know if I'm accepted. I'm going to assume I'm accepted. I know the organizers. Well, I know of the organizers. They know of me. I don't see why I wouldn't be, but, just heads up anyway, if you're in the Edmonton area, that will be coming up. It's Woolfest YEG. And it's going to be organized and put together by the was going to say the Knit Girls. That is not correct. That's a different podcast group. But instead, the Grocery Girls, Jody and Tracy. So, oh my goodness, there's still 6 of these. Okay. At least this one's easy, because realistically, what we can do... I really should be using my chalk pens, probably, because I have a feeling they would show up better, at least on these darker ones, but... oh well. So yeah, I'm going to clear up some of the... I know I said that I was going to... or I had mentioned if you've been waiting for a custom order... we will be working on them, but today I need to clear up the space, and like I want to clear off a lot of what's sitting back here outside of maybe the linings for the small box bags, and then we will work on getting the customs done, because I need to cut and interface and everything like that, but I kind of wanted to do that at the same junction as getting we need Obi Traveler slings for the mid-year festival and for Omatsuri. So that's kind of where I'm at, is I want to get them prepped at the same time, so we really only have to heat up that heat press once for the next little bit. It is going to start getting warmer. It isn't too bad right now, and we are probably in like that nice grace period of it's not going to be too hot for a little bit. And thankfully we do have AC, but the less I have to make the AC work, the better. Really. Okay. And if you're like, Katie, why aren't you going in and marking all of these? Because the area racing marker does actually area race correctly and fairly rapidly, and given how dark these fabrics are, I just want to get them sewn before that happens. So here we are. That's why we're working on them individually, because yes, normally I would be pulling my hair out about this. I kind of am, not gonna lie, but these fabric trays are worth it, and I think they're going to be a good addition for the actual, like for the mid-year festival as well. And if not, whatever, I'm going to be at the Ancient Arts, like at the Pancake Breakfast, and they are definitely very good trays for like snaps and stuff like that, or not snaps, the clips. I don't understand. My brain has like been subbing snap for clip for what, like 2 months now? Apparently I need more of a break. Oh well, vacation in February. I can have a vacation in February, kind of. Again, all the dates are starting to get posted for when marathon applications can go in. Osaka is saying it's towards the end of July. Tokyo has said that it is like August something, the 19th, I think. 15th, somewhere in there. And then we'll know, oh right, with Tokyo we'll know if Dallas is in by September 19th. And Osaka hasn't posted when their results will be live yet, because they haven't even posted when applications are going to go live yet. It's like our planning committee meeting is on, what was it, July 25th, and signups will begin late July. And I'm like, guys, that is late July. I actually double checked to make sure that it was translated correctly, and like something hadn't been lost in translation. It's like, nope, July 25th is the meeting. Signups begin late July, so I guess it'll be right after that meeting. I don't know. Oh well. It's not, I doubt that there's anything that they really have to change about the signups. Probably just like confirming things. Apparently they did have some issues last year with like baggage pickup and stuff like that. So apparently they've been working to figure out a better system and things for that. So that's cool. They took feedback to heart. So, you know, that's always good. I know who I need to chat to about Woolfest actually. yeah, now I gotta figure out what we're gonna do this weekend, because with the kids home extra, yeah, they're home extra. We've started trying to do park runs with, especially with the eldest, because they love to run. So park run is free 5Ks organized in cities and areas and everything like that. And so they've done it with Dallas once, and so I'm gonna try and keep. I tried it with the eldest like 10 days ago, whatever, almost 2 weeks ago, because it'd be like the last Saturday Dallas was at work. They were just not having it. So we'll try again this week. It's going to be one of those weekends where it's technically a long weekend, even though the holiday is Tuesday. A lot of people, I'm sure, are going to take advantage of it. Kids are going to school till the bitter end here as well, so I have a feeling like this will be the first big weekend for a lot of kids for getting out and things, so that'll be something. But I think we'll go do like park run, and then we'll go throw some rocks in the river and go for ice cream or something like that. So, because why not? I've started back at the gym for my strength training, because that was the one thing that really plummeted over this last training period, especially after getting sick, since I prioritized the running. So now it's prioritizing the strength training for the next few months versus still running, still training to run, prioritizing the strength training, because I've noticed that I think is what's holding me back a lot. It's like the cardio's there, but my muscles aren't efficient enough for it yet. So squats, so many goddamn squats. And the problem is it's hard to tell what I can lift, because it's like, okay, so technically I lift two 42-pound children, so really I should be able to do about 80 pounds. But it's not like I'm squatting with my children either. So I'm all over the place. But I am using that as a guideline. It's like, okay, so the bar is like one is a certain weight for the squats, and then you add on the kids, basically. Because why not? So, yeah. Okay, I think we need to start there. Hey, I made a pretty good guess. All right. What I do need, okay, so this needs to be about there. I did reorganize my OB as well, so I'm trying to like get everything into this room. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're trying. They are on a garment rack that I had previously used for like tote bags and stuff like that. It's not very stable. I think what I need to probably invest in is like an industrial rack, but that's not what we're spending money on right now. Yeah, so they're all in this room now. Because here's the thing: is what I do miss about having the cutting studio where it was, or the cutting room where it was, is that like everything was out and displayed. And even though the OB were like in a closet, they were still just like I could just open up the doors and look in. So, whereas I'm finding that, yeah, I don't know, this room is not as inspirational as the previous cutting room. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it a little bit more inspirational. Now, we haven't been occupying this room long enough for it maybe to also even be that way. That could be part of it. We haven't done, I guess, maybe a true full season in here, so I think that might be it as well. I don't know. But it could also be that I just need to like suck it up and get some shit finished so that we can actually see the true shape of like what we need to do in here, and I think that's probably the biggest part. I know. So that's what we're working on right now. That's why we're gonna finish up some whips before we cut anything else, even custom orders. So. Yeah. Okay, there we go. pandas with bookshelves. Oh, and I've got teacups and saucers from a friend's grandma who moved into like assisted living sort of situation, a home. So we're going to experiment with those as well. I just got to figure out the correct size of like stuff. I got the glue and I got some embellishments and stuff like that so we can cover up glue lines. But I do kind of want to get some of those done for these shows coming up as well. They're going to be cute. I've been wanting to do this for a little bit, and it was like, this was a good opportunity because she was getting rid of a bunch of china that like she just doesn't need. And that wasn't like she wasn't getting paid for it anyway. So we got a donation of cups and saucers. There we go. Super cute. Oh my goodness, that actually looks so good. Love it. I really love it with the canvas backing on that one. And then something else that I've been like toying with is I really want to do some headbands, but I don't know when that's going to happen, so. Stay tuned, I guess. All right, I think these last three are light enough that we can just go in and do... What am I doing? I have two rulers right here. Fuck me. Okay, anyway, I think these ones are light enough. We can go in, they'll mark well enough that I can just do them all at the same time, and then we can just sew all of them at the same time. And then we'll go in and we can just like, they need their snaps, but I'm not doing snaps today. We are just sat at the sewing machine today because, my God, have I needed this. I'm already feeling better. Oh yeah, we have discovered the magic of shrinky dinks. So we have done some I've done some crafts with the kids the last few days, last couple weeks. Went to Michael's and like picked up a bunch of stuff because I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's summer, they need stuff to do. These were supervised crafts. The shrinky dinks, not so much. If you don't know what shrinky dinks are, they're little like plastic things, and you color them and then you throw them in the oven. Which is a lot of fun because then they just shrink in the oven. And like the colors get really like condensed and stuff like that. And I am trying to like just, you know, not monetize something else. Although they would make fucking adorable stitch markers. Oh, they would make super cute little bag tag. Nope. We don't need another hobby turned business. Hi, Wendy. How are you doing, my dear? We are back with bells on, probably, maybe. I will be working on your bags. I was going to work on them today, but then I looked at the state of my desks when I came downstairs, and I decided that we're going to get through some of our whips first, and then I will cut all the custom orders and we'll do them all at once. So because I've got yours and I've got two others for someone else in Calgary, so I want to have them done for the pancake breakfast on the 12th. So if nothing else, they'll be done by then. Like this one. So yeah, so we're working on whips today because we're working on whips today. And glue, I know, right? It's like, my God, just working with glue versus like working with sewing will be, well, it's so basically I've got to sew a little, like, we're gonna cut the fabric and then we have to hand stuff it and hand sew it, and then I get to go in and then I get to go in and do the, oh, there we go. Okay. Hand sew it, turn, yeah, and then glue it into the thing. And then we can embellish it with pretty stuff too. This high, shiny, extra shinies on a teacup is exactly the vibe we're going for right now. The only thing then is like how I display them at shows. So I'll have to figure that out. But that's a future me problem, and we're not going to worry about it right now. Yay! We'll get there. But I do want to get them off my plate so that I don't feel guilty about it anymore. We'll get there. The fabric's not going anywhere. One of the so we discussed this one. One of the kato is a special order of fish fabric. And I was like, I'm going to set aside this fish fabric because it was set aside for large box bag, but someone custom ordered it for a kato. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Not a big deal. And then I misplaced it. So that's part of why I want to get this done, is because I did find the fabric. So I want to like sew it before it wanders off on me again. Because I don't know. Well, I know why, but I don't know. Well, and I know how. Never mind. Shut up, Katie. We know. We know how these things happen. Negligence. Too many. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, too many balls in the air maybe right now. But we'll get it figured out. Number 2. Excellent. Yeah, we touched base last night. For me. I'm going to make this one smaller. We're going to do this at 1 inch versus 1.5. Okay. And then these will all be sewn, and then we'll clear up. Maybe we'll do, should we do needle stashers next? So the next show is with the Shinto Shrine in Calgary. So it's not a knitting show. So maybe we should work on the stack of, actually, yes. I'm going to work on the stack of scrunchies that are down here as well. That have been patiently waiting for us. Because then they're ready. That makes sense to me. And actually what I was thinking is it's because then I can elastic them while the kids are home. It's a good kids are home task, to be honest. Oh my goodness, having all sorts of issues with this right now. Okay, so there's that, and then we can make the inch mark. By the way, WestJet was sneaky, so we're going to use the WestJet points to do like direct flights now, because it's actually, they changed their whole airline points program in April. And so what you can do now, and I've mentioned this before, but it's like you can pay for your taxes. And like what you can pay for, you can't pay for the taxes. So the minimum payment that I have to make with WestJet is about $200 now, which is taxes and fees. And I am perfectly fine paying my taxes and fees. The difference that they made compared to like Air Miles, and which Aeroplan does regularly as well, is now they're letting you pay for the ATC or like the fuel surcharges with your points. So amazing. However, they are very sneaky and backhanded in that I went and looked at it when they had a Father's Day sale. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to look at what the cost would be for these flights. Not intending to book because I got to wait for my passport to come in, which is in process. I got the application in. And then I looked like after the sale went off and it was $50 cheaper than during the sale. And I'm like, oh, you. So we're going to have to pay close attention. We are going to prioritize Dallas's card for some more points. Yes, I still have like room in mine to take extra off, but we have more room on his to take off. So I'm like, all right. Because then if we go back in 2027, we'll use the Air Miles because it won't be as long a trip. So basically, well, it won't be as long of a trip for Dallas probably. It might be just as long as a trip for me and the kids because I would need to still be there for Toji, which Dallas would need to take extra time off for, but I don't think he should. And I feel like me staying with the kids is fine, especially since it would be a second trip. So Okay, we'll clip those afterwards, mostly just so we get through these lines before they like crochet these lines before they fade. Man, crochet, I still can't wrap my head around crochet. I have a friend who crochets like nobody's business. Her skills during the pandemic just like exploded because she made a jellyfish for our first kiddo, and then she made a jellyfish for the second kiddo, and the like difference in just how well it looked or how good it looked is ridiculous. Like just tighter, more uniform, all these things. So, it's super cool. Nope. Okay, get out of there. She actually just made me a Kiro plush, like Cardcaptor Sakura Kiro plushie. He's super cute. So, happy birthday to her. June babies are the best babies. Speaking from experience, because I'm a June baby. My birthday was on Friday. I'm 36. I do not feel 36. Fucking weird. It's weird. And it was just a weird birthday. Not as bad as when we actually flooded, but it was like Dallas's race got canceled. They were supposed to be on the 21st, and like, I don't know. It's like the last 2 years have just been really weird for birthdays, because last year I was sick as a dog. Like, I spent if I had needed an emergency colonoscopy on my birthday, it would have been the day to do it. Sort of like stomach bug. It was bad. And I kind of wanted to make a bigger deal of it, because I'm like, okay, I don't need like a big birthday every year, but like every 5. That's kind of what I have in my head. I'm like, let's do a bigger like bash then. But then it was like, it just fell flat. Because then even when we went out with my friends on the weekend for brunch, I still was not feeling like the best. So that fell flat. And then this year was just kind of like, just kind of fell flat again. I don't know. Just weird. Weather was weird too. It was like, so I know I was saying that we needed rain, but then we got all our rain probably for the summer basically at once on Saturday. And it's like, well, I didn't mean it that way. Pools everywhere and just, ugh. Dude, that is an accomplishment. Was it my father-in-law just turned 72, and my mother-in-law is going to turn 72 as well this year. They're like 3 months apart. We're all snakes. I don't know. The weird part about this is like my body is like some days feels 36, but mentally I have aged up. I have noticed that. I'm not like thinking that I'm still 19, but it's like I don't feel 36 either. But I am struggling with this one. I don't know why, because like it's not even like I'm in like my late 30s. I'm still like solidly in mid 30s, but yeah. June hasn't been a good month. I think that's part of it. I think February through like the end of May, it burnt me out. I don't know if you were here for that earlier, but I was in a funk, especially last week. So I think it's a little bit of that, as well as just like maybe the seasonal change or something. I don't know. It sucks. It just sucks. I don't like it right now. Usually I have a seasonal funk in like March, but I think with how busy we were in March, like I had no time to be in a funk. Oh man, this one's really pretty too. But yeah, definitely like almost, or probably at that like existential crisis sort of funk, burnout that smells like depression funk. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't like it. So I did rebel. I have not seen, so let's go to the other spectrum of this. I rebelled by going and buying myself a new cake winder for yarn. because I know I have my really nice one still because I have wound yarn in this house. So it definitely moved with us. And it's not something I would throw out, but I haven't seen it for over 3 years now. So I was like, do you know what? I am holding myself back from projects that I really want to do because I do not want to hand wind the yarn into like balls because the cake winder is just so much faster. So I went out and I bought myself a cake winder. It is a crappy cake winder. It's already clicking and sputtering like I've used this thing for 20 years because it's all plastic gears. However, I have now wound more yarn and I have plans for more knitting than I've had for like the past 3 years. That is also partly like, because like finally I'm not a jungle gym for the kids, so I'm actually able to sit down and knit without concern that, or as much concern that I'm going to poke an eyeball out or something. But, yeah, I'm excited to do some of these. The other thing too is my body measurements have settled out. I'm not going to be fluctuating quite as much, like hopefully a bit more weight off, but that won't, like, the stuff I'm knitting is like, it's knitting. It doesn't need to be super fitted. So and the first one I'm going to do is called the Lariat by Yamagara. And it's, where's all this site traffic coming from? It's like there's 112 sessions on the site. No sales, of course. But here, anyway, I'm going to pull the sweater up. If you're on the website, buy the things. Super cute. It's got this little like, so that's the sweater. It's got a little cable detail down the front of it. And then it's got like a mesh. Yeah, that's actually a better picture of it. It's got like a mesh lace in the back. Knit from the bottom up. And I've had yarn for it since 2019. It's Earl Grey Matcha. That obviously isn't going to come through as necessarily as nice. But yeah, that's one of the first things I'm going to knit. I'm going to do that. And then I want to also knit the Camaro. Yeah, I think it's Camaro sweater by Tanis Knits. And I've also had this yarn since 2019 because I got her to set it aside and I made Dallas go buy it for me. So I'm knitting that as well. And then, but however, the bottom stripe is going to be the rest of the body as well because I liked the Bissot better than whatever it is on this one. But the other colors are the colors that are going to be the neckline. So I think that's knit from the top down. Yeah, and this talks about the, yeah. And then I think I've got enough to make it the like a little bit longer version, hopefully, because I prefer my sweaters a little bit longer as well. We'll see. Okay, so that is those done. I was talking about doing the scrunchies, and we should also do the mini traveler slings before anything else. Oh, God. 30 in mind and your body is 90. Yeah, that sounds about right. Some days. That is the one issue, is it's like I started back at the gym and it was like, oh my God, my legs were killing me. But like I've mentioned before, I need it because my body's starting to be like, hey, so your muscles are failing while you're running. It's like, oh. Not failing, but they definitely are what's holding up progress now. So, and considering that I also didn't prioritize strength training for the past few months because I was prioritizing running, I need to reprioritize strength training. Yay. Why do bodies have to be so high maintenance? I don't like it. I wish they were lower maintenance. Yeah, I'm running the scrunchies. But I am going to run, I'm like, I don't want to swap out to the white thread, but I think we should swap out to the white thread, so let's do it. I did buy more white thread the other day because I was like, I need it without, like, I didn't want to have to worry about it now over the summer. So it's like, all right, just buy the white thread and get it shipped. But they didn't have my big cones, so I was a little bit annoyed, but I will order them when they have the big cones. Like, I've got, like, I ended up with 5,000 meter cones Whereas these ones with the orange, these ones that we used previously are like 12,000 yard cones. And I know those are two different measurements, but 12,000 yards is significantly more than 5,000 meters. And they were cheaper and have been just as good a quality from what I can tell. Anyway, cat problems. Oh yeah, so now I'm waiting for my, speaking of cat problems, waiting for my passport. It has been submitted. Well, it should be getting shipped out like July 15th or something like that. So like lots of time before our trip, or before we're even really booking anything. I just had a momentary panic because I was like, oh no, that's going to ship when we're in Victoria. But no, Victoria is August. July is actually the month that we want to like receive registered mail. Imagine my passport getting mailed back. Fuck. It would suck. Anyway. A lot easier process than when I went in for the kids. Because so the kids ended up, of course, we had travels in 2022. So they were caught up. If you're in Canada, at that point, the passport offices were just inundated with shit tons of applications because everyone was starting to like, oh no, I want to travel. Because stuff was starting to open up. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. We got caught up in that as well. So their whole thing was that you ended up having to like, you could only apply for your passport if you had travel within 90 days. And then like making like, you had to make an appointment, and like just, it was a nightmare. And then on top of it, their passports, we had a travel date booked already, and the person doing the applications missed the travel date. So we ended up having to I had to go in and get all the way down to Harry Hayes after already having stood in line for our passports for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Had to go down to Harry Hayes, which is our big building in Calgary, and rattle some cages there. And basically like 4 or 5 days before we left, and they realized what had happened, and they're like, oh, they missed the travel day, and I'm like, well, that is an issue because we're leaving in like 6 days. So they expedited free of charge because it was very clearly marked on the passport application that we were leaving. And yeah, anyway, they dealt with it. They expedited it for me for free. I went down and picked it up 3 days later. It was fine. Thankfully, all of mine should be fine. So, and if it's not, well, I've got more time to deal with it. But at that time, that was the only way to do it. You couldn't and be guaranteed that you would actually get it. Wild times. So it'll be my last passport with Her Majesty in it, which is wild to me. It also has like all of our travels to Japan. Yeah, that was the one that I traveled to Japan on the whole time. Which is also wild to think of. Like, it was the first passport post-marriage, basically. So, yeah, wild to think about. Well, new passports look kind of like, everyone makes fun of the money because it looks like Monopoly money. To be fair, it does look a little bit like Monopoly money, especially if you compare it to US currency. Yes. But, oh, there's like 2 small box bags that are randomly in that box. Alrighty. But the passports look fake from what I've seen. I'm like, what is this nonsense? Oh, there's another one right there too. Interesting. Okay, well, there's a whole stack of like small box bags to finish too. No, wrong way. I want to sew it from this side because I prefer working from the seam edge. That's right. Anyway, yeah, it just kind of looks bland, and like it's got Arial font and stuff like that. I'm like, is this like is this more accessible or like easier to read? And I haven't seen anything about it. Who knows? G7 is finished in Kananaskis, so that's nice because now it's like all our extra security is done. I no longer have fighter jets flying over my house, although those are cool to see. I did see a Chinook helicopter, which is really cool. They're always really cool. That's the double rotor helicopters. Yeah, we're just, I guess, settling in. Our sunflowers are doing really good. Our chaos seeding of our garden went really well, it seems like. Everything's thriving, so I'm going to say that it's all going well. And I know we just kind of threw our seeds in, and now we're going to see what happens. Dallas is like, we need to pull the weeds. And I'm like, what weeds? And he's like, well, there's a couple there. And I'm like, yeah, but most of it's plants, like proper plants. Actually, I need to go see if we need to remound our potatoes or not. Because they're the one thing that kind of needs consistent attention, I think, out there. So I know there are other ways to sew scrunchies. Oh, these are a bunch of small box bags. Why are there a bunch of small box? Doesn't matter. Who knows? Past Katie cannot answer us. It doesn't matter. Who knows what she was thinking? I probably said something on stream. Am I gonna go back through and watch like hours and days of stream? No. No, I am not. Anyway, I'm really hoping that like the one thing is that now our rainy rain's mostly happened. I'm hoping we have a good Stampede. It's like, and then it can rain again after Stampede. But with like 2 outdoor shows, I'm like, please be good weather, please be good weather, please be good weather, because holy shit, I would suck if it wasn't. Ooh, I did also get a recommendation that I might do well at Lilac Festival in Calgary next June. So we're going to look into that as well. And I am... Okay, the burrito failed. There we go. It failed. We do also have another zip and grip ready to sew, so we might do that. We should do the backpacks as well, mostly because that's a fuck around and figure it out one. So I think we will work on that here too in the next couple days. And yeah, get set up so that I can get those your custom orders done here, like in the next little bit, maybe in the evenings. Because the kids are off of school Thursday and Friday and Monday. I keep saying Thursday, but no, they're in school Thursday. I put them in for Tuesday, Thursday this week, which was an excellent choice. I did go to a different gym today because I was like, okay, we've got gym memberships that basically you can go to any of these gyms. It's Anytime Fitness. I was like, okay, I'm going to go to one on the drive home because then I'm just done and I can just go home and do my stuff. I still dawdled, but I got my leg workout in. They didn't have a leg press though. That was like not already 132 pounds. And I'm like, I do single leg press because trying to keep muscle imbalances at bay. And for running, a lot of so much of the impact is single leg impact. So to stave off physio a little bit and help. Well, basically I adapted Dallas's program from his physio that said, hey, do these exercises single-legged. Makes sense. Anyways, but they only had an angled leg press and it's 132 pounds. And I'm like, no. So I had to truncate the exercise. And it was dusty. It was actually dirtier than Cochrane. I'm like, okay. I won't be going back. It was a pain in the ass to park at, and yeah, it was dirty. It's like, because obviously the machines have like grease and stuff, so like all the dust has stuck to the machine. It's just like, ugh. But that also, like, that means that they're not wiping their machines down as often as like Cochrane is, because I have not seen that much dust in Cochrane, so I'm just like, no. Convenient, but not. So I'll go try a different one next time I drop Telus off. One thing gyms need, I don't know. One thing gyms need is they need more like childcare areas. To be fair, our like community kind of pool rec, I guess maybe rec center, recreation center and stuff like that is like, they have childcare, but they're expensive. Like they're $80 a month versus like, now granted that does give you pool access and everything like that. It was the one that I signed up for. I actually canceled my membership finally because I was like, I'm not using it enough, and their weight room sucked. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to use that. Anyway. But more gyms need, like, play areas. So you can bring your kid and do your workout. Or at least, like, a kid area to sit on their iPad. I don't fucking care. I guess maybe what I need to do before... I'm still in contract with our current gym. So, like, all right. Get a home gym figured out a little bit better. And then I don't even have to go to the gym. I can just do it in my own garage. I know, it's so gross. It's like, go through and wipe down your fucking machines, guys. There is no excuse. And like, I was doing like calf raises against the wall, and there was like little, like, it almost looked like a dog had been in, and there'd been like dog shed or something. Anyway, not going back there. I guess that's needless to say. We're not going back there. Kind of disappointed though, because it was nice to just stop on the way home and then just come home, but... Part of it was that there was also like a fog advisory on, and it was super foggy, and I didn't want to like drive home in the fog. So that was actually the main reason for doing it this way, is because I was like, no, let's not drive home in the fog. Like, let it burn off, because it was super thick. So... I think at that point it was already burnt off though too. Because like realistically what I could do is I could drive to my gym and work out there and then come home too. Like same idea, but whatever. I tried it. I didn't like it. It was gross. They also didn't have, it was also probably 2/3 of the size of our gym too. So like it was just, I'll have to thank the manager at this gym here and be like, thank you for keeping it so clean. Maybe they just, I don't know, maybe they just hadn't been in over the weekend or something like that since the weekend. Maybe Monday's their cleaning day. I'm pretty sure Cochrane's cleaning day is Monday as well, like deep clean day. But also they're just not as dirty. And actually, never mind. From what I saw, that's more than a week's worth of build-up. Even though it can build up fast. Yeah, one other thing I need for my, like, next round of, like, stuff for knitting is I need to figure out my needles. I'm like, where have all my needles gone? I've got, like, a couple really nice sets of interchangeables and things, but it's like, oh, right. I'm pretty sure they're all in a bag somewhere. Thing is I keep tucking stuff away so the kids can't get into it, and then I'm, like, always like, okay, where is this when I need it? And it's like, fuck. Oh well. dog scrunchies. Puppy dog scrunchies. Puppy dog scrunchies. They should just be easy and mind-numbing to work on, but I am struggling and I don't know why. Scrunchies are fun. Scrunchies are fun. I sound so convincing right now, I'm sure. That's one of the things, is like, I just have, yeah, there's been zero motivation. Weird. Oh well. I think working through a lot of the stuff that we have left over from like Dawson and things like that will actually help quite a bit. I think part of it is I am feeling over and underwhelmed with the amount of stuff that's like left to do in some ways. And I know the only way to help that is to go get through it. But it's like, oh God. It's not stuff I want to work on. Wine. Cat problems. It's also like, well, okay. So Knit City Calgary sold a lot. Like 40, so we finished what, like 100 small box bags, and I think I came back with 60, so like 40% of the small box bags. But then small box bags have barely been touched for the rest of the year for sales, and I'm like, so I've got this, like, we're staring down that pile of, what? I think there's still like 150 left to finish, and I'm like, you better sell. We also have, like, tote bags have also not been touched, and we have 100 of them to finish. So I think that's a little bit of the why the inspiration is lacking a little bit. Oh well, we'll get there. The Kato, I need to sew Kato because I think we're back down to like a dozen or something ridiculously little. Everything though, until Knit City are small booths, so that's the other nice thing. But we are out of stuff that needs to get done too, like traveler slings. That's part of why, again, I want to clear up a lot of these whips, or at least what's on the desk right now. We're not going to even look at the bins. I'm ignoring them right now. Looking at you, ignoring them again. Because we need to get through, or we need to also add some stuff in that, like, I don't have cut right now, like traveler slings, because the remainder sold at Odafest. So, and we also, I want to get those backpacks prototyped, which are on the desk, so they'll get prototyped here in the next couple days, probably. Actually, maybe once we're done scrunchies. Do I have the mental energy to do something new today? What time is it? It's 2:30. Do I have the time to do something new today? Also, I don't know what this AI program is on for the running thing, but my God, it has had more speed work for me in the recovery program than I had for my whole half marathon program. And I keep looking at it like, what the fuck are you trying to do to me? Because tomorrow I'm supposed to go and run a simulation 5K at a very high pace. And I'm like, am I going to die? I'm not going to die, but hopefully I'm not too sore from the gym tomorrow. Because I just did track day yesterday, which was like 1,600 meter intervals, and that was fun. The storage room? Yeah. Like, why I have a lack of motivation is, or the needles. Sorry. I did not see when that message came in. I just looked up. That's on me. There's so much in the storage room that I need to figure out. That's actually, I went in with the youngest the other day and we pulled a bunch of yarn because I was just like, fuck it, let's wind. You're not supposed to wind yarn until you're like going to do the project. But I was just like, nah. We went through and like picked like 3 bags worth of yarn because I was like, okay. Now, this is stash that I've had for quite a while. I've spent many years curating my yarn. Now it's time to use the yarn. So that I can go buy more yarn. But yeah, so we pulled a bunch. But yeah, I need to now find the needle bag is probably in the storage room. I need to figure out when I'm also going to come in and like really finish setting up down here for the studio, because it's like 6 different directions. Actually, for how little fabric I have on those back shelves, I could put my yarn back in the calyx for now. Although once I go to Japan again, I'll probably fill them back up. We'll decide that later. Maybe, who knows? All right. We've got some cute scrunchies coming along here. They'll be good. Oh yeah, so and part of my inheritance from my parents' place and like stuff, probably one of the most useful things out of that whole random drop off is the fact that now I have a bunch of bins. So what I'm gonna do is, previously what I've done with my bags is they've been in like suitcases and all of this so that they'd fit in the truck better. But we're getting to the point where I have stuff that like the suitcase isn't like 3D bag friendly. So I need to do bins and stuff anyway. And now I've suddenly inherited a bunch of bins. So I'm going to start packing all my stuff into these bins. And we're going to get the storage room eventually tidied. Again, fall project. Post-knit city projects. And what we're going to do is then basically I'm just going to store the bins in there. Because that is the one thing I really lost moving into this space, is I lost my storage like drawers, which is fine because honestly I wasn't using them much anyway. But what I'm thinking is I'll pack everything into the bins, and then between shows it just sits in the storage room in the bins where it's going to come in and out of the storage room anyway, and then there's less transferring and all that jazz. Are the suitcases even out of the garage right now? No, because at this point they're going to go back in the truck in like 10 days, so there's 0 point in bringing them downstairs, and I'm just taking them back upstairs right now. You may call me lazy, and that would be a fair assessment. I prefer to call myself efficient some days, but yes, they should have actually come downstairs into the house in May after like Odafest, but I don't know. It's like there is no room for them in the storage room right now. Like they don't have a home right now, so it's like I gotta figure that out. I think there's also I need to finish like destashing some shelves and stuff that I just never use anymore for the grid wall. I destashed like a literature rack and a few other things the other day, so like just shifting sales, shifting racks. There's certain products that like certain display things that are only for certain products, and I don't do those products anymore or whatever. So yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll all be good. These scrunchies are taking a really long time. I don't quite know why. At least, so basically what they need to do now is I'll put an elastic in them. They get turned, and then I just sew the exterior. So that, yeah, that's definitely a good project on the weekend with the kids. I think the thing is that there's also just a lot of scrunchies right now. But hey, this is working through a lot of the strips and everything like that. Right? I think efficient. There we go. I'm actually kind of hoping it rains on the weekend because I don't feel guilty about not going outside. Isn't that terrible? Oh, we do have a bouncy castle now though, which is super fun. So that's something I can set up for the kids. And since I'm now facing the windows, I can supervise from here. And so, or I can sit on our patio and like be shaded while they bounce around in the castle. So that's going to be probably a lifesaver this year. And they're also getting to the age now where I can boot them outside and I don't feel like they need like constant supervision. Mostly because the youngest is no longer consistently trying to eat rocks. Finally. It's insane to think that, like, we have and have not been in this place for very long. In terms of the kids, we've been here forever because we've been here for 3 years. In terms of, like, Dallas and I, it's barely been a blink, but it's like, yeah, like when we moved here, the youngest was still trying to eat rocks regularly. But, like, the eventual plan for this room was exactly where I am and things like that. So that's a lot of fun. And, like, being able to see the whole yard. So, yeah, I could just send the kids outside to play. So, here we are. I've made it. I've survived until I'm able to supervise. We're navigating a bunch of stuff with preschool, though, so it's like, oh no, these poor kiddos. One was, it's like, so the eldest was knocked over the youngest's tower at school. And it was because another friend said that they should. And I'm like, well, that's a tough one because you want to be accepted, but it's like, don't be mean to be accepted, right? Like, you're not a mean kid. You don't need to be mean to be accepted either. You've got lots of friends who aren't going to suggest this. This little kid is... We've had issues with this little kid all year. And so it's just... I'm glad that they're moving on, like, to kindergarten. I guess might be the best. Like, out of this preschool. But then it's like also the youngest is getting picked on by like a group of little kids. So we talked to the teachers and they're like, yes, we think most of it is that like tensions were just running high last week, but we didn't notice it. I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know. And just like heads up that we were told about this as well. I felt really bad for them because, yeah, youngest is definitely highly distractible. And I'm not going to say they're innocent in this either because they get in your face. But that doesn't mean that anyone deserves to be picked on either. So hopefully it's not going both ways that way at least. I think most of the time they end up removing themselves from the situation, which is good and bad. But yeah, it's just like, oh my god. We're definitely in... The eldest had this shift last year too, so we're definitely in the shift with the youngest as well right now. That kind of like toddler to preschooler shift, I think, is probably the best description. And it's just a lot going on. Yeah, there's always one, and it's just, yeah. I'm just happy that they're not going to be in school next year, because honestly, at this point, that's all you can really do, unfortunately. So, yay. Alrighty. Just make sure everything's still streaming here. It looks like we're doing good. What time is it? It's 20 to 3 right now. So we got actually got quite a bit of time. We'll definitely get through all the scrunchies, at least this portion of the scrunchies. And then maybe and then I'm going to grab the needle stasher pile because the needle stasher pile is right there. I can see it. And that's just straight lines, chain pieced. Very production. We won't finish those this week, but it will get them off of other pieces that are beneath them that I do want to work on. So, i.e. the backpacks. I think the backpacks are going to happen tonight. After the kids are in bed. Am I going to come down to sew after the kids are in bed tonight? If I drink a pop late enough, it will keep me up, but I won't be up until like 3 a.m. So that might be the best way. That's been the big thing over the last month. Is it's like I haven't even had the energy to come downstairs to work has been non-existent at night. So it's like, I think we're good today, though. I think we're good. I think I can do it. I just realized the other thing I should do is I should print off barcodes for the scrunchies because the stickers will actually stick to the fabric because that's what I did with the Notions pouches. So that would be good. Tara already knows that we're going to go in and like barcode everything for Knit City like the night before. Maybe. Oh shoot. There. Yeah, I don't know actually if that'll work or not. I'll figure it out. Everything will be fine. It'll be good. It'll be fine. So I haven't some of them weren't actually working at Otafest, and I have not been able to figure out why. So I'll have to go in and experiment with some, I guess, before. Make sure that they are actually working. One actually scanned an upcycled bag as a Kato. And I'm like, that's not right. And also at an extremely different price point. Well, I know it because it's a traveler sling, not a... The belt bags are the same price as the Kato. But the traveler slings are not because, as you know from watching, they are significantly more work. Well, I guess I haven't sewn a lot of the belt bags on stream yet, but we will be soon-ish. There's actually a pile, or there's not a pile, but there is like 4 or 5 cotton and cotton linen blend ones down here to make. Okay, this pile is shrinking. I promise it is shrinking. Kind of. I know we're not supposed to do counts, but let's do a count. We have 1. And actually, then I can set them up. And we have 2. And we have 3. And... Good God. 3 and 4. And I've been trying press on nails because I'm like, I don't want to spend the money on acrylics. 5. I love acrylics, but yeah, there's multiple reasons why not to. Mostly expense, because I'm going to put it into the hair instead. And I think that's fair. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I've been trying press-ons and they're super cute. So these are a little bit shorter than the ones I had last week. The ones I had last week had like little 3D detailing and stuff like that. I think they are better quality nails. But these are a better length. So I think what I'm going to choose, the other ones was like so minimally more expensive that I'll probably go with them again. Just because I can reuse them. Definitely a learning curve on how to apply them. These ones did apply better, but I think I liked the other ones still better. So anyway, but they're fun. And like, I may not do them all the time, but I do really enjoy them. I like having my nails done, but part of it is I never also have the patience. So acrylics are not what I want to spend my money on right now. Again, hair instead. Which probably works out to about the same price, all things considered, when you like factor in the amount that I do my nails versus the hair. But then also, cost and time, I guess. But then painting my nails, I'm never patient enough to let it dry long enough. So these, at least it's like, just don't like get your hands wet for an hour. So I'm like, okay, well I can do that. And they're pretty, and they're definitely like effects that I would never be able to do with polish either myself. So, and like the 3D ones for sure, I don't know. I'm not ever gonna do that. So anyway, I'm having fun. That's the main thing. And they haven't gotten, so the longer ones did get in the way of like getting the kids out of their seats. That's probably their biggest backdrop. Well, actually that, and the thumbnail was so long that I would catch it opening the door to the Jeep. So that hurt the first few times when I was still trying to figure out how to open the door. I think I've figured out how to get the kids out of their seats with the longer ones, but these are definitely a better length. So maybe I'll look for like this length. Oh, that's just, that is a drawstring for the Kato, so that can move over here. Anyway, maybe I'll look for like the reusable ones in a shorter length, because that would be good too. All right, story time is over. We have opened up all of these. So how many do we have? I think we have 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we definitely don't have 30. Oh, maybe we do. Never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, close enough. 29. Well, let's get them done. We did actually watch Cars with the kids last night. Wrong way. They were okay with it. They still found it scary. And I'm like, all right, we've got a couple of sensitive little kiddos, which is fine. But, yeah, I thought that it was going to be okay. I'm like, I don't really feel like Cars is a scary movie, but okay. I think they both enjoyed it, though, so that's good. I enjoyed it. I did forget how, though, until we were watching it, how much my dad had liked Mater as a character. I'm like, ah, shit. So that was a little bit nostalgia, I guess, maybe. It's also almost 20 years old. It came out in 2006, and it actually looks really good. Like, the animation is still really solid. So that's cool, because it's like, that is one thing I think with the traditional animation versus CGI, is the CGI does typically age a lot faster. Whereas the, like, hand-drawn is a lot more classic and, like, more timeless, I guess might be the better description, even than classic necessarily. But no, it looks like it doesn't look dated yet, at least. So for 20 years for CGI, I think that's pretty good. It's also Cars. I think maybe a humanoid one might be showing its age a bit more. I know Toy Story is for sure, but it's like 20 years old now? 30. It's 30 years this year for Toy Story. That is the first movie I ever saw in theaters. We were right in the very front row at Market Mall in Calgary. So that was fun. Just like craned right back. How far would you like to crane your neck, child? It was uncomfortable even at like 6. That isn't one we're not going to watch with the kids for a while, because Sid would freak them right the fuck out, so. Hell, Sid and his creations are creepy even for me, even at 36. Geese, 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 geese. Geesey gooses. Geesey goosies. I avoided the bottom sludge in my cup. Yes. Number 1 accomplishment for the day. No fine coffee fines in my mouth. Surprised that we haven't had, like, well, actually my phone's been on D&D, so who knows if there's been a thunderstorm warning come up. Yesterday we finished up at the track, because we had track day, and I'd been watching, like, thunderheads develop to the west, yeah, southwest, and but what we should have been worried about was the stuff in the north. So we literally drove through to Costco a like little like cloud burst that was just like super intense. Thankfully, we were also off of the track by that point. And then by the time we got out of Costco, which was only like a 15-minute trip, it had already cleared up. So that's the way I think it's going to go for the next few weeks probably, is it's like just these like random little cloud bursts. So Fantasia is an intense movie for a first movie. I still am I can admire the technical genius of Fantasia without enjoying it. It's also just boring and so fucking long. Like, what the hell? Because it's like, what, 2.5, 3 hours long? It's so long. No, I'm definitely a, like, Disney princess movie person. But that's the thing, is the kids are too scared of the like villains in the Disney princess movies to watch the Disney princess movies. So that's why we tried Cars. Whoa. I don't even know what my first movie would have been, but that was my first, I guess, theater movie would be the best description of it. Because like, so my childhood was during the Disney Renaissance, I think is what they call it. So like, Little Mermaid, of course, in '89, and that was the year I was born, and then like Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, and then a bunch of the VHS like re-releases of the classics, and Lion King, and I don't like Lion King though. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not my favorite. Actually, I need to rewatch it soon-ish. I like doing like a rewatch before we go to Disney sometimes, because then you get more out of the trip in some ways, because there are so many small references you don't pick up unless you've seen the movies, which makes sense given that the parks are all based around animation. Although we won't, yeah. Japan does have, like Tokyo Disneyland has some of that, but not probably as much as I would pick up in like the American parks. And yeah, it's going to be a few years before we go to the American parks again. We were supposed to be, like, so Fairy Tale Challenge is opening up today, which is a 5, a 10, and a half run. And the medals this year are spectacular. But, of course, we've already committed to Japan. Fairy Tale was supposed to be the one that we ran in 27. But, yeah, I think we're pretty set on just going back to Japan. And I'm going to attempt to get into Kyoto instead. Oh, Muppets Treasure Island is so good. Nemo's good too. I think I liked Finding Dory a little bit better. But I do enjoy Finding Nemo more as an adult than I did as a kid. That's where I'm at with that one. But yeah, Muppets Treasure Island's really good. Muppets Christmas Carol's really good. I like the Muppets. Yeah, I forgot about Treasure Island though. I really like, it's like kind of become a cult classic, but I think it's a sleeper hit. I really still enjoy Atlantis. I think it was extremely experimental, and I can understand why it didn't do well, but I do really enjoy Atlantis. Milo's such a good main male character, like atypical male character, and that's part of what I enjoy about it too. You don't see that juxtaposition as much. We're not going to discuss how I have not watched Fox and the Hound since I was a child. Because I still remember bawling my eyeballs out about that one. It's one thing I do miss is it's like, I miss the like Sunday, like Wonderful World of Disney presentations that used to happen. don't even know if they still happen or not because we haven't watched well, like the only time we end up watching like cable or proper TV, kind of proper non-streaming television now, is up at my in-laws, and we're rarely on a channel that would have like Sunday evening movies. I'm gonna have Aristocats stuck in my head too. Yeah, okay, that one's uneven. So let's roll, and then we're gonna shimmy. That's what I wanted to do. It was a shimmy down because I don't want to like. There we go. Oh yeah, the kids are still in school. There's a school bus. It's a little bit early. Oh my god, yes, Goofy movie is really good. I do really enjoy Goofy movies still, even now, and it like hits a different note now with kids. Robin Hood's solid too. I didn't watch that one as a kid, but again, that's part of why we are watching like some of the more classic ones before trips, is because again, you get more out of it, like, or you get more out of the Disney trip if you know some of the references. So we've watched some of the older stuff we hadn't watched before, and Robin Hood was definitely one of them. What did we watch? And like we've done a lot of basically like straight back to when they started. So obviously like Snow White and stuff like that. But then we also watched like The Brave Little Tailor and like Sleepy Hollow. Well, I guess it's like what, the tale of Blah Blah and Ichabod Crane. Oh no, that's the Headless Horseman. Yeah, that's Sleepy Hollow. Where am I going with that? But so like we've watched a lot of that. I like Hocus Pocus still. I haven't watched Hocus Pocus 2. But we watched that before our trip with Dallas's family, which was good because a bunch of the Halloween celebrations down there are around the Sanderson sisters. So, and I still feel like that one has actually aged decently, which is good. I am over all of the live action remakes. I'm like, fuck off. Someone was comparing them to the direct-to-video releases that we used to have, and I'm like, honest to God, the direct-to-video releases were better. These live-action remakes are not where it's at. Ugh. So, Lilo and Stitch is also a favorite, too. That's actually one of Dallas's favorites. So that one's always fun to watch. I like the music in it. What else? What's one of my favorite older ones? Besides Princesses. We have actually, I tracked down a copy of The Black Cauldron and we have watched that, and I do understand why they've kind of disowned it. Although it is on Disney Plus. I still have never tracked down a copy of Song of the South, which is unsurprising. Being that is probably the most controversial one that they've ever put out. Although I don't feel like anything Disney puts out doesn't have a controversy, so on some level. Yeah, Goofy movie. I forgot about Goofy movie. I always forget about Goofy movie, and then I get reminded about it, and then I'm like, oh, right, that one is so good. This Powerline. And actually, that whole, like, it's had kind of like a revival in the park. So you get to actually, Max dressed as Powerline comes out for like Halloween and stuff like that as like some of the special characters. So that's always really fun to see. So, yeah, these are slow. What the fuck? Why are scrunchies so slow? Like, we've only sewn 9 only. I feel like I could have actually. Oh, I said that we were going to do needle stashes. Maybe we'll go in and we'll finish the small box bags, because they're at the point that if I finish the interiors on them, or if I finish the boxing on them, they could also just chill and we could turn them this weekend. I should find out if Tara could come out. Can you come visit and help me turn and like elastic stuff, please? I'll pay in food and drink. I'll get some like bubbly wine. Kids can bounce in the bouncy castle. We did actually go out for like on Father's Day, so Dallas wasn't home. So this is but I was like, oh my god, I need to get out and see some friends before I go crazy. So I was like, let's go down. It was supposed to be rainy last week too, so I was like, let's go and like do the indoor playground. I totally fucked this up. We'll go do the indoor playground and we'll have some pancakes and stuff like that. And it turned out to be the like nicest day of the whole week. I'm like, of course. Anyway, just thinking about the fact that it is actually still supposed to rain this weekend, so maybe, I don't know, well, maybe we'll play it by ear. And if she has a long weekend as well, though. There are still grasshoppers out. I can hear them, so that's good. I do think the little chickies are gone because I haven't heard them peep the whole time we've been down here. So I think they have flown the nest, which is good. Hopefully and maybe they'll come back next year. That would be cool. We have not had birds nest before, so it's cool to see. Or cool, yeah. I take it as a high compliment, I guess. And they're nested on the side of the deck where it's like not, they're not going to poop on our patio furniture. All right, penguins. Japan or Nomura in Kyoto keeps posting these amazing fabrics. So here's hoping we have some of those fabrics next year still available. I think I've mentioned this before, but it's like way more of like a tease now because I'm like, oh, I could be there. Well, I can't be there right now because of my passport. So I guess that's the saving grace. But it's like, damn it. At least over the pandemic, there was like no opportunity. But now it's like, oh, I could be there, but I'm not. Yes, I could order the fabric, but honest to God, it's like they make it difficult. It defeats the purpose of the whole business model, and it's boring. Also, it's like their online prices are like 3 times the price. I don't blame them. Photographing stuff and listing it online is a completely different model from like just selling it in store. And it does take more processing in like you cut it and package it and ship it. But like if it's an emergency, I'll order. But I'm like, no. Anyway, just know that there's some cute cat fabrics. And I'm like, I'm really hoping that's still there in February. I have a feeling it will be. I will also pick up some more penguin fabric like this if they have it. Because this one's really nice. And it kind of got swooped on. So... there we go. My sister-in-law has voiced a like interest in going, especially if Dallas also gets into. So I say also if Dallas, especially if Dallas also gets into Tokyo because his cousin's running it as well. So she's like, well, when else am I going to be able to see 2 like family members run a world major? So, and I'm kind of like that would be super cool because like shopping for fabric with other people is one of the best things because. Everyone's like tastes are different, so I get a broader field of appeal, I guess might be the best description. Yeah, actually, we're going to do scrunchies and then we're going to do small box bags because the small box bags, as soon as they are like that is the majority of their work done. Then they just need to be turned and a final seam. Insta stock. And then we'll go from there for what we're doing next. I did try binding the seams. So there will be one bag that is bound seams instead of like sewn and turned seams. I did not like the bound seams. They just did not. A, they didn't come together as nicely. And B, I'm like... I'm just going to stick with tried and true and like how I know they finish nicely for me. Now we are going to have to practice binding for the zip and grip because it's got a bound edge. And it makes sense why it has a bound edge, I think. I cannot see a way for me to like not have a bound edge, which is fine. But yeah, the small box bags. I was like, maybe like just because my thought process is like, okay, where could I reduce the time that it takes to make the small box bags by like doing the binding? Because realistically, it's got some pluses to it and stuff like that, but it took me longer, and that's partly skill, but also I don't like the look of it. I like the turn seams better, so back to turn seams we go. And if you're like, that's not a very large test pool, I don't have time for a larger test pool right now. We're just gonna stick with what we know. The brutal truth. Because I want to put the time into backpacks and the stitch and go case and the zip and grip versus trying something new on something that has like a tried and true method. So yeah, new products instead of fucking around with old stuff. That works. Oh yeah, Andrea, the Knit City Toronto also posted their dates, by the way, just as a heads up. And it looks like it's in March. I can't remember the date. I know it's March though, versus May, which is super interesting. So that'll be 2026. And then Calgary, if you're in the Calgary area, or Vancouver, traveling to Calgary, because you know, you can always come visit us. Come east. Calgary will be the end of September, same dates as Knit City this year, last weekend in September. And I think that's, I don't know, because they had it in August last year. I think that the August dates worked really well for Calgary, but I'm also not upset about it because honestly, it'll give me 6 more weeks to sew and prepare. And if Vibrations goes really well in Victoria, it opens that weekend back up for me. So that's also exciting. I'm like, good God, this one is not wanting to turn. There we go. So, man, but it is adorable. Current lineup too, by the way, I have 3 shows in Calgary here in the next, like, holy shit, they're right back to back. Next 3 weeks. I don't know why. I know why. Well, part of it is Omat City moved their dates back, so that's part of it. They're not in August anymore, so... We've got the Usagi Jinja, the Shinto shrine in Calgary, is having their mid-year festival, and so I will be at that July 5th. I'll be at Pancake Breakfast with Ancient Arts Yarns on the 12th, and then I will be at Omat City July 18th and 19th because of the night market, and then the day market, and then we'll be in Victoria for Vibrations in August. I will be in a pink tent. For, oh God, okay. I want the seam up here. There we go. Anyway, I'll be in a pink tent for the Usagi Jinja, the Pancake Breakfast, and for Vibrations. And then Omatsuri is inside. I don't like taking a risk with weather in July, typically, because Calgary is all over the goddamn place in July. But the other 2, I don't have an option. So, and then Vibrations, who knows what's going to happen? I've never done that one before. So, and we're barreling towards Knit City too. So, yay! We're just discussing the truck maintenance because it's like the truck likes to burn through oil between oil changes. So we always have to top it up. And Dallas is like, well, it's at 40% now. I'm like, okay, so we'll have to do like, oh, bobbin's out. We'll do like the trip out to Victoria, and then we'll have to, he's like, and then I'll top you up with oil. And I'm like, no. You're going to make sure it gets in for an oil change before I go to Knit City, because otherwise it's going to like, it'll push it back over the distance. Speaking of which, I actually need to get the Jeep in too, and it needs its like annual checkup and oil change. Yes, I do stretch my Jeep a little bit, but it's just like, I haven't been driving. Well, it doesn't do the long distance driving because it's reliable, but it also needs a radiator. So, new radiator. Yay, there's a slow leak, as is typical of radiators. There we go. We're still streaming. We're still streaming. Sweet. We've been burnt by that a few times now, so it's like, all right, just double check on it every once in a while. So like we're down to like 14 scrunchies to go here. And like I said, I'll elastic and turn them this weekend when the kiddos are home, because they'll be home extra this weekend. And I don't have plans every day. Yeah, and then I am hoping I have enough energy to come on in the evenings to just kind of get rolling here, because honestly, it is the season of sleep deprivation. Not terrible and true. This is what happens when you go into a funk in June. Sucks. Oh yeah, I gotta figure out. So I still have a few more trays to finish, but I think what I'm going to do is, because the top portion of it is a lighter fabric, I think what I'm going to do is a light fabric or light thread upper and then a darker thread base. So we'll do that after these guys, I guess. They're actually, yeah, because they're there, and then we can do, no, we're going to just do small box bags first. Because if I get them done, they're done, sort of thing. And that'll actually clear quite a bit off of the desk. And then we do have that whole stack of Kato that are essentially done as well. Yeah, small box bags, Kato, especially the Kato. The Kato do really well at like non-knitting events as well, so there's that too. So hopefully, okay, so kids are back at school tomorrow. I do have that freaking 5K test. I was basically going to drop the kids off and drive into the city for that, because if I run it here, I basically hit hills on both sides, and I'm like, not big into killing my pace off by going up like a freaking 30-meter incline. It's funny because it's like I looked at the incline for, it is funny and not funny, but part of why I decided that I was going to apply for Osaka versus Kyoto is Kyoto has like an insane incline change and, or ascent basically, I guess would be the better description. And yeah, I confirmed it the other day. It's like Kyoto has 150-meter elevation, like ascent. So you run up 150 meters of elevation change. Whereas Osaka has 30 meters total. And you actually start and end, because you start and end in Osaka-jo, or like Osaka Castle Park. You basically end up at the same elevation. But it's like 30 meters is like a normal run in Calgary. So And the majority of that does happen it does just happen very suddenly. But like Calgary, it's nefarious because you end up doing basically an unnoticed steady climb, and I'm always like, oh god, especially because it's always on the way back. But Cochrane, well, and 30 meters is actually lower than even just me coming up to my house from where I would run in Cochrane most of the time. So that's nice for training for Osaka, at least, because it's like knowing those stats. But yeah, I think I'll still go and run in Calgary tomorrow because it's easier. It's flatter. Even though there's this elevation change, it's not quite as drastic as the one in Cochrane. Damn. You know, being in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies, there's absolutely no indication that there's like an elevation change around here at all. No, come on. It's like, there we go. Kids are already excited for Stampede though, which is cool because I'm already excited for Stampede. I was totally like off by a week because I was thinking about it before Dallas came home. And I was like, oh, Stampede's this weekend. And I got super excited. And I was like, wait, nope, it's not this weekend. It's 2 weeks from now. But we've got our like gift certificate things because Costco sells like it's 20% off basically. So it's like $50 worth of Stampede bucks for 40, which is a very good deal. And then like ride all day tickets for the kids for the Midway, or if they're not tall enough, we can use it for like carnival Midway games. So that's nice because I know this year we're going to end up like, well, the youngest has already been asking to do the like Midway games and rides and stuff like that. So we are prepared, but we're going to strap in for the full day, go parade to basically grandstand show, which will be a lot of fun and a lot. It'll mostly be fun. I was like thinking about it, I'm like, honestly, we've done Disney and survived. We're gonna be fine at Stampede. Although I did tell Dallas, I'm like, we have to strategically plan it so that we're like inside and maybe sitting down for like a show or something like that in the afternoon with some AC. So I think that'll be the big difference. Oh no, we still have chickies maybe. Mama bird's here at least. Or one of the parents is here. I don't see any chicks though, and I don't hear any. Oh, Mama bird, are your chickies okay? Huh. I hope they like, actually with how much rain there was, I hope that they survived the amount of rain. Yeah, so current summer schedule is I'll be on when the kids are at school. Training is going to ramp back up, but it's not going to be anything insane until August. I don't know. I don't have my new schedule yet. But training for a half in Red Deer in October. And then yeah, well, we'll know by that point if I'm into Osaka or not. And then basically we'll just roll over into marathon training. But stuff and sundries. Yeah, I'm going to go with a higher volume, more speed work for the half, because I'm like, then I can do a lower volume, less intensive marathon training at this time, which would be good, while still having gotten the speed work and other work that I need to actually get faster during the half training. Strategies. But yeah, basically I'll be on during kiddo school days, and then Dallas is gonna like take over bedtime basically for the summer. So kind of leaning towards we'll do like morning time with kids, and then when it warms up I'll come in and sew for a few hours, and then evening time like dinner forward the kids until bedtime, and then I'll be back downstairs to sew and sew hopefully. So that's the current plan. We'll see if it goes through that way. And then Mondays I will be taking off when Dallas is home, and actually all Mondays will be no stream days, because that's the day where the kids, there's overlap. Kids are in school and Dallas is home. And then when the other weeks the kids are home, so it's impossible to stream basically. So except for maybe in the evenings. And then we start back into like full-time school schedule in September, because they're both going to be at preschool and or kindergarten concurrently. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Also, everything's indicating that I should be able to do like a 5:15 to 5:30 marathon. So I'm like, perfect. What I'm going to train for Red Deer is going to be I did 2:45, 2:44 and some change in Calgary. So my goal for Red Deer, that hopefully doesn't kill me, is 2:30 to 2:35. It's going to be the end of October, so it's going to be cooler, which will be nice too. May was getting like, Calgary was actually getting quite spicy, quite hot. And the other nice thing is that like Japan in February it'll be warmer than Canada, especially this area, but it'll also be cooler than like running in May in Calgary. So hopefully. Apparently Tokyo was like plus 20 and in March, and it's like, oh boy. Basically it was cold, and then they just had like a random spike of like heat spike specifically on the marathon day, because you know, whoever's like watching this is laughing, so they're just like, fuck you. Doesn't matter. I'm like, why are these taking so long? But does it matter? No. Is there a reason why I procrastinated on these? Yes, because I knew I was going to take this one. I'll take our time. Scrunchies are like decent sellers, but they're not top priority sellers, so that's why the a little bit of procrastination. Now having multiple like or more selection might help. I don't know what's gonna help exactly. Whatever, it's not like fabric goes bad. That's the motto. 9. We're into single digits. That's the best digits. Single digits. And this is actually a full thing that is like basically done at this point. Well, okay. We're 33% of the way through. 1/3 of the way through once we're done this step. We're 50%. Yeah, because there's 4 steps. So we're 50% of the way. 5 steps, I guess. Whatever. Doesn't fucking matter at this point. Are we cutting counting? I guess we can't count. Oh, whatever. There's 2 more steps, 3 more steps after this. We have to elastic, turn, and do the finishing seam. That's why I kept adding steps. And then I was like, well, wait, if you like, excuse me, count the cutting and like the sewing of the end and this, that's 3 steps. So honestly, we're still halfway. There we go. We're halfway. Because there's 3 more steps after this. There. Done. Math is hard. I'm choking on my own spit right now. This one's going to be really pretty. It's that like crane fabric with the peonies, and like the color of the purple, especially in contrast with the peonies, is spectacular. So exciting. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 8 more. Okay. We can do 8 more, right? I think we can do 8 more. Ugh. Right. Water. Once I'm done this, we're going to get up and have a stretch because my brain is like, my head actually is like, oh, God. Although that might also be because I've mostly just drank caffeine and not water today. So hydrating might help that. Oh yeah, okay, we got, I'm like, what am I feeding the children tonight? I am very lightly on the weight loss side of things again. And the calorie counter I use actually has like a program where they'll do meal planning too, which is super good. But of course it's a lot of food that the kids don't like. So we had shrimp stir fry, which is delicious. But I only have 1 more serving of it left anyway, so that's mine. But the kids have, Dallas just made them like plain butter noodles last night, so that's what they can have for dinner tonight. With an apple. That's what we'll do. Apple and plain butter noodles. Sounds delicious. And I will stir fry my noodles so that they're crispier. And then we'll start in on the whole meal plan again tomorrow. It was like, the problem is that it was a lot of food, like way more than we needed to make. So, because I had included the kids in the counts and stuff like that. But, so now I know better. It's like, okay, count them either as none or 1, I think. Because half the time they won't eat it. And, yeah. If they do eat it, well, then we just don't have as many leftovers. Go. Okay. 7, 6 more? Is this 7? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Yes. Yes, it does matter. I've also been on the hunt for a new massage therapist, and I think I might have found them, which is exciting. Although if my old one, she moved up to Edmonton area, and it makes sense that she's still up there. She's got family up there and a bunch of other stuff going on. But if she were to like come back to like even Red Deer, probably I would drop everyone else and go back to her. Sad face. Oh well. This other place, they actually suggested it's like if you, because so as usual, the shoulders are extremely, like basically it was rock hard. That poor massage therapist, I think she was kind of shocked. I'm like, yep, I'm not, but I get it. It's tough. She actually did get it pretty worked out though, and like did end up being able to break whatever the adhesion or knot was down into like 2 knots instead of one giant brick. So that was impressive. But what they actually suggested was do like a sauna beforehand, because then it warms up the muscles and the massage therapists are able to get further into it. So I'm like, okay, I could get behind that. I gotta wait for our benefits to reset, because I literally used up the very last of the benefits that day. So I was like, perfect, that's amazing. So at least there's that. Thank goodness for benefits. And hopefully actually the strength training also helps with like everything, because it's like, all right, 1, 2, I don't know, 2 days, one's leg days, one's upper body days, and then prioritize the legs, but I need the upper body for work too, obviously. So little Scotty dogs. This is going to be a very cheerful little scrunchy here. Go. Where are we at? 3:40. Okay. We've been 2 hours of sewing, and we got the trays done, and we're nearly done this step on the scrunchies. It was a lot of scrunchies, so if we counted at 29, we probably were done about 15 before that point, 10 to 15. So around 50 scrunchies. That's a lot of scrunchies. Oh man, yeah, we'll go, let's do the, I keep wavering between the needle stashes and small box bags, but I think we should do the small box bags. Because oh, it was a cattle truck going by. I'm like, I hear cows, but it was a truck and trailer with cows rolling by. The cows aren't in the field behind us this year, so. Anyway, yeah, we'll do the small box bags, because then the small box bags are done. And then we can go in and do the needle stashers, because they'll be super straightforward, straight lines. Small box bags are also super, like, there's not a lot of thought or finagling, so. I do have all the handles ready to be top stitched for the next round of small box bags, which is good. This bobbin has not been winding. Fuck me. I've tried twice now and it's still not winding, so let's see if I need to go further in. Oh yeah, we're doing, let's just jump topics. This is stream of consciousness. Buckle in. Smutty Book Club's doing Something Wilder by Christina Lauren right now. I forgot how slow that book was at the beginning, because a bunch of people are like, I'm at like 50% and I'm not really enjoying it. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot slower than I remember it being, because it was my recommendation. But we wanted something like with cowboys and like ranchy stuff for Stampede. So that was the one I could think of that was probably both horse related and the least cowboy you could get, because a bunch of people are like, no, not the cowboy romance. So I don't know, it's still enjoyable, but it is very just like, it's a good beach read. It's very easy reading. There is no like massive overlay insane stakes or anything like that. So didn't we already sew a sheep one, or am I just remembering it because we counted them earlier? Doesn't matter. So anyway, and then August is going to be Deep End, and then we're reading Bewitched by Laura Thalassa, I think, something like that. Although that one, I don't know, I haven't read it yet, but it's like Bewitched, Bespelled, and then the third book in the trilogy is The Curse That Binds. And I am so, like, I don't know why, but I am so annoyed that the title, like, naming convention didn't carry through to the last book. I don't know why I'm so annoyed by it, but it's like, what? Bewitched, Bespelled, The Curse That Binds. It's like, why? Hell, even if it just been like a B title, that would have been fine too, right? Like something that started with B, but it's just like completely not unrelated. I don't know. I do still also need to finish A Curse Carved in Bone, which is the Daniel Jensen book that we were supposed to read as a duology last month. It was really hard for me to get into those books, and I cannot say why. It's not like they were poorly written. It was so hard to read it. So I'm gonna wrap it up anyway because I already have it. So let's finish it, sort of thing. Yeah, Betrayed. Or use that for the middle one, because usually in the trilogy, the third one is the one where you have the redemption arc, kind of like, I don't know, why didn't you think of this before? Even Bound. You could just do Bound, or Bound by the Curse, right? Like some sort of B word would have been fine. But the fact that it's not, cat problems. That aren't even my own. I guess that is my own issue. That's my own issue with this titling convention, because my God, is it annoying. I am currently reading Kiss of the Basilisk, which is probably by far the most smuttiest read that I've had recently. And like, what I mean by that is not just that there is spice on page. You're reading, it's like, what is it? Porn without plot, basically. It's enjoyable. It's very love triangle. I have a feeling it's heading towards a threesome, but I cannot tell, actually. It's not terrible. I've definitely read worse. But anyway, it is definitely the spiciest one that I've read recently. But I do have an issue with the main female character's name. So her name's technically Temperance, but she's always like, call me Tim. Tim is a character in Undertale, and all I can think of when it's like Tim is this little dog character from Undertale. Hoi, I'm Temmy. Because it's a Tem shop. And I'm just like, so I was like, it took me like 2 or 3 days because I was like reading this and I'm like, okay, whatever. But like the name kept twigging something of like, you recognize this name, you recognize this name, you recognize this name. And and then I finally clued into the fact that it was Tem from Undertale. So yeah, so anyway, Now, whenever I'm reading it, all I can think of is this little dog person that sells you stuff in Undertale. Yeah, Beloved, I figured would have been a good one for the last one of the series. I don't know if that's the like theme of it, but it's like you could have figured out a different title. Anyway. Inconsequential complaints. I'm not the one rating it. I'm just the one consuming it. Rating is hard. And I know this because I've tried. That's the crazy thing is like I've always wanted to be a creative, basically, is probably the best description for it. So when I was 5, 6, I wanted to be an author illustrator, and then that shifted into like being an author, and then a mangaka or like comic book artist. In North America, I guess would be the better descriptor, and like all of this. Actually, no, even before that, I wanted to be a jewelry maker. That was it. I could set up this little shop and sell my jewelry. That was the 4 or 5-year-old Katie. And like, so like I've always been on this path when I actually think about it, which is cool. Anyway, I need a wash and break, and then we're going to grab small box bags and start finishing them because they're sitting back here waiting. I will be back in like a few minutes. All right, I have returned. I had a snack because I got upstairs and I'm like, I'm extremely hungry. So, apple and some cheese. Apple and some cheese. I also found one more scrunchie because we're probably going to be finding scrunchies in that bin for the next 6 months because that just seems to be how this production schedule is going. How long have these been whips? I don't know. Excuse me. Shorter than that bin of Sheena's at least. Which, by the way, I have lost again. I didn't find it since I streamed last, but I was looking for it, and because I was like, oh, do you know what? I got inspired because there's another creator on YouTube who's doing like finishing off the long ass list of projects, and what she was doing is exactly that, and I was like, hey, this would be fun to like do as well because hey, we got a lot that I haven't finished. And there we go. But when I went to look for them, I only found portions of them. So we'll do that. We'll do that when I find them again. I'm so annoyed because I know for sure that I found them. I thought that I condensed them all into one bin, which would have made sense, but apparently I did not. Oh, again, it's not like they're going to go bad, but I do promise I was going to try to behave myself and actually finish some of the whips that I've had for a significant amount of time. And it just blew up in my face because I also was not going to spend the time searching for it. I will come across it again at some point, probably this summer, but I think that'll be one of the priorities when I, like, over the winter time is getting those done. Okay. I know I keep flip-flopping, but honestly, the needle stashes are staring me right in the face here. And I don't feel like sewing small box bags right now, so we're going to do these instead. And we've got a lot of small box bags right now. Well, we got enough small box bags right now. We do not have a lot of needle stashes because they keep selling, which is good. It means that we need a better selection of them. And honestly, mindless. Put them under, go fast, it'll be fun. And then I'll turn and do the snaps later, whatever. These don't need to be done until at least the 12th of July because they are very niche into the knitting community. So that's fine, but it at least will clear a big, like it cleared a big chunk off of the desk already, so I'll take that. It's good. What else needs snaps? Right, the trays need snaps. And the mini travelers, when we get them done, are also going to need snaps, so we'll work on that after. By the way, I gave up on directionality for these ones. I would cut them in half and do directional prints. We are not doing that with these ones. We're just going in. If it annoys you, please just use the side that's directionally correct. Again, it was one of those things of like, okay, so I can either sew them or I can procrastinate on them and like have them be directional both sides, and I decided that I just wanted to not procrastinate on them anymore. So here we are. So rebellious, I know. Okay, our next bobbin did finally wind, so that's good. And there's some good OG fabrics in here as well, which is nice to see them getting used here. I know on this right-hand desk as well, which is supposed to technically be the in-between whip desk, there is a lot of bookmarks, actually, is one of the other things. So we'll work on those here in a little bit as well. Not today. After this, if I come back downstairs tonight, or when I come back downstairs tonight, I'm manifesting that. I have enough energy to come sew tonight. Unless something goes sideways with the kids. I also don't... So the eldest, I think, has been waking up later. So we'll see. Hopefully they don't wake up too early and, like, scream murder at the top of the stairs. So... because that's always fun. Yeah, when I come downstairs tonight, I want to finish the kato that are on the desk, and I want to finish, or like get the next step done on the small box bags and the kato that I currently have, like steps, like, or like literal couple hours left to make sure that they're actually finished. Especially the kato, actually. So we'll focus in on them, which, because they're, yeah, they're a big chunk that's over here. So we'll do them, and then we'll do the small box bags. And then we'll figure out what we're doing. Oh, right. Next week will be traveler slings and customs. Actually, hopefully the next couple nights. See how everything goes, I guess, for timing-wise. Because I don't actually know how many needle stashers are here. I know there's a lot. I think it's well over 75 or something like that. But there's a lot, so we're not going to count them. Although I am very curious. Actually, we'll count them when we're when we're putting them back through next time or something. I don't know. Everything's sticking together. There's some OG fabrics in here too. This Maneki Neko Lucky Cat one is an Etsy import. So is this this Sakura print. So like we are far back in the archives right now, which is okay. It's too bad that wasn't a little bit bigger, because that would make a really gorgeous insert for those cups, actually. Are you large enough? No. No, it is not. Damn it. Then what am I doing tonight when the kids are home? Maybe we'll just come downstairs. We'll see. Actually, we did get the youngest some Lego the other day, and that has been the best independent plaything we have gotten them in a very long time. So now it's like, okay, now it's time to clear out our mega blocks, which are the big ones that you would use for building like people-sized things, but they're not using them very much anymore. So I'm like, okay, it's time to clear them out, and we'll put the Lego in there instead. I've been having qualms about, like, I have a whole shit ton of Harry Potter Lego and stuff like that, and I'm like, she's such a piece of crap now. And so I'm just like, all right, I think we're gonna just get rid of the boxes. I'm going to keep all of the instruction manuals for everything, but I can't ever build that castle and those pieces again. So I think probably what we're gonna do is we're just gonna break up the sets and put them into the bin, because it's Lego. Oh no, there's some beige and green pieces in the bin now, especially since it was stuff that was bought like 24 years ago, 25 years ago, and I'm like, well, it's Lego, so it is super annoying that they're still making Lego like Harry Potter Lego, though. I'm like, really? Nope, we're not using that. That's got a fray in it. So there's an extra piece there. But anyway, yeah, we did do Lego. They were so excited. It was what we did for our like together time on Saturday, because there's a Lego store down in Chinook, and yeah, it was like a lot of fun. They were so into it that they were like listening to the instructions well and all of this. It was awesome. So did that. came home, and then they built with them, and they basically did like independent play for well over an hour, which for this child is unheard of. So that was awesome. I'm glad we finally found something that they enjoy that much. Yeah, they will keep making it. So the only thing, like, a lot of people have completely cut off companies that, like, do these collabs and stuff like that. I'm like, and unfortunately, like, ugh. I guess the big thing is that it's like, I will not be buying any more Harry Potter stuff. Because I can't. Personally. So. But I'm also not going to deprive my children of Lego. So it's like, yeah. It's annoying. Oh well. Wish you would just it's one thing to like have said it, but it's also another thing to just keep hammering it. It's like if you just sat down and shut the fuck up. Like, my God. But no. And then she got in for our NDP seat yesterday, which is super exciting. Smith made him wait the full legal amount that she was allowed to make him wait. Two more. What? No. Yeah, 2 more years. Damn it. 2 more years. Yay. But yeah. Anyway, he won, and also another gentleman won for the like provincial NDP. So Nenshi was the mayor of Calgary when we had the floods back in 2013. He was very tired by the end of his like tenure here. But a lot of our premiers do end up coming from being Calgary mayors. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think he needed the rest. I think given what he did in Calgary, I think he's going to be bringing a pragmatic voice to the NDP, hopefully. Hopefully. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're cutting funding for our COVID vaccines, which means that we're going to have to pay to get our COVID vaccine, which I don't understand. So that's going to be fun. I wonder if the federal government cut the payments or if it was just the provincial government being like, we're not going to pay for them anymore. I haven't actually looked that far. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm thinking with the Lego is it's like, all right, throw it in. Ignore the instructions, and honestly, it's a better way for the youngest to play with it anyway because they are super into building and engineering, as they call it, which is amazing. And I think they're going to also like be, yeah, free play. Free play. But yeah, so basically, but what I got to do before I do that is I need to, actually, the other thing I could do is I could see how much they're selling for it with like one of the used brick stores, and then just put the money back into new Lego. But that seems like, could I get more Lego if I sold it, and then I would have like, there would be no qualms, a 0, or that is the question. That sounded, yeah, we're out of bobbin thread. I'm like, it sounds like we're out of bobbin thread. And guess what? We are. Okay. Bobbin, bobbin, bobbin. Change the bobbin. Lego is expensive. The COVID vaccines were part of the regular thing. You could go for your flu and your COVID vaccine. I don't understand why they're making us pay for it now. It was part of the regular regime. Like, fucking hell. I will be paying for it. We have the ability for us to pay for it. But like, I don't understand why it's not. Well, okay, we've got a whole fucking measles outbreak in Alberta. So yeah, I know exactly why. It's because she's keeping her base happy, because the base is, yeah. Anyway, we'll pay for it, because I'm like, if we're doing international travel to Japan, I do not want to be without the newest COVID vaccine we can get. So I also did make sure that Dawson and I both checked our measles and made sure we were up to date. We both have 2 doses, so that's good. They actually, so I would have probably done the MMR when I was in Alberta as a kid, but then we moved to BC, and paper records obviously don't move with you as much. And I don't have my records from before and during BC, but I know that I got a dose in university because they had an outbreak of mumps. So they're like, here, you should have a booster. And then when I had the youngest, I was in for one of their like vaccine or wellness checks or something. And they're like, we noticed that you don't have a second dose on your record. Would you like it? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's go for it. So I'm set for now, at least. But yeah, we've gotten lovely, not sarcasm, lovely numbers right now in Alberta for measles. And that's actually what I was worried about when the eldest got hand, foot, and mouth, is like the way it presented was these really red raised blisters. And I was like, ah, shit, this is like, they're both fully vaxxed, but like, how do you know if it's taken, right? Unless you've had an exposure. Now they turned out that it's hand, foot, and mouth. Still sucks. But not as much as measles. But that's actually what I was worried about. I was like, ah, crap. Because it's like, I didn't even think about hand, foot, and mouth. That's one that I hope we never have to repeat. 10 out of 10. Do not recommend. Avoid at all costs. Wish there was a vaccine for it. Actually, that's a good point. That speaking of vaccines, I need to get the youngest in for their last Tdap as well. So. Uh-oh. Cop car going out. Alright, 2 more to do straight seams on, so I'm glad we went with these guys first, because... Yay, brain off, just go! Instead of the whole, like, manipulation of having to get those, get the burrito moved around, basically. Okay, so we have, I am going to trim these apart because it does make it easier to sew back. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I'm going to say we have 50. 17, 18, 19, 20, right? Yeah, I think so. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Oh yeah, over 50. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 58. That's pretty good numbers still. Okay. Now just down the other side. Quickity split, lickety splits. Eee. 1. And then we actually have a bunch over that are just waiting for their snaps because when did we do the last big round? It was before Dawson, right? So it was like, all right, my hands are worn out and it's late, so we're done. And then I haven't touched them since. Because that's just how it goes sometimes. But they are, as I found them, I have placed them over with the snap press. So we'll go in and we'll just do a bunch of snaps all at once and over a few days so that I can like, well, yeah, I was like, I'll do them all at once. No, we'll do them over a few days so that I don't kill my hands again. Because I like to test them to make sure that they're installed so that it's not as big a deal oh God. I test them so that they hopefully don't fall apart as soon as you get them, because I have had that happen occasionally. I think the plastic snaps do actually set nicer, so I have noticed that they fail. If they don't set correctly, they fail easier than the metal ones do. So that's good too. At least that's my theory, so. What time is it? Oh yeah, and we gotta get going pretty soon. So after these will need side seams and turning. We're going to need labels for all of them. And then we'll go in and do stuff and sundries. You can tell the Stampede's coming into town because the cowboy hats have started coming out. And a lot more trailer traffic actually along the back here. Alright, so yeah, so what am I doing? What am I doing tonight? Feeding the children dinner. We got them new bikes, and so Dallas is like, you should take them out biking. And I'm like, that is really hard to do solo. So we're going to avoid that. Next week he's home, though. That's one of the tasks. Basically, I want them to be able to ride their bikes well enough by the end of the summer that they can keep up with me when I'm running. Because that would be amazing. It's like they don't even have to be off their training wheels. They just need to be able to keep up. So, be a lot of fun. And I think they have it. I think they've, like... I think the big thing is practice and muscle, especially for the youngest. They need the mental practice even more than the physical practice there. The eldest, I think, has the same thing. Just the, like, mental fortitude. They're also far more worried about their bike on the... because the training wheels don't, like, sit on the ground. I remember our training wheels when I was a kid, like, sitting on the ground. So you basically had a tripod. But theirs are ever so slightly elevated, so they still have to, like, balance quite a bit. Which I think is actually better. To be honest. But yeah, they like gasp every time they like wobble on their bike this way and that's like, so it's just, they got to get over the fear that creeps into their mind about the bike tipping. And it's like, you're going slow, you're fine. You're not going to tilt. But of course, like, you know, experiencing it and telling them it is two very different beasties, so. They'll get there. But yeah, we went to take them out on a bike ride last set Dallas was home, so not this one, but 2 weeks before. And they've outgrown their bike seats. And it's like, oh, that's sad. So that's why they have to get on their bikes now. It's like, no, you have no choice. You don't fit on our bikes anymore. All right, so hopefully bedtime will be pretty straightforward tonight. We were up late last night watching Cars, so I think they're probably going to be pretty sleepy. I don't know what time exactly I'll be on, but I will be on tonight. We'll be working on Kato. Kato? Did I just say? Whatever. Kato. I think we're working on Kato tonight. And small box bags in service of getting the desk cleared so that we can do custom orders. And traveler slings. Because as soon as we're done those two, we can go cut for customs and sundries. Although, actually, no. Maybe we'll also do the backpack experiment tonight. We'll see how much time we have. Who knows? If the eldest doesn't come and scream bloody murder, we might actually have enough time to do all of that. Because the Kato are down to just smashing together. And, like, the small box bags are the same, so... Well, they're never mind. They're smashed together. They need box edges done. what's the date today? The 24th. We've got 3 months. We've got a quarter year until Knit City, which sounds like a lot of time. It's not a lot of time, especially since we're staring down July already. And Vibrations is what, 6 weeks away? So, I guess we should choose a number that we want for the Obi's Travelers things. I think we should have 6 ready for next week, and then I think we should try and have 18. I don't think I've got enough Obi for that. I said that out loud, and I'm like, wait. I was gonna say we should try and have like 18 for Omat City, but I don't think we got enough fabric for that even. A dozen. I think we should try and have 6 ready for mid-year festival, and then we should have a dozen ready for Omat City. Oh, I'm sorry. I adjusted the... I promise I adjusted the exposure earlier, but it's obviously shifted as the light has changed. Yay. Okay, I am going to finish the sewing of these, and then I'm going to head out just so I can use the washroom and stuff in semi-peace before the children come home. Yeah, and then we'll be back tonight to do Kato. We are going to sew the Kato on the desk. Except I think a lot of the Kato are not on the desk. I think they're actually down in the bin. Okay. I'll see what's on the desk. The goal is to clear up the desk. So it might be mini travelers and small box. Actually, minis would be good too, because I need minis for this. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Minis and Kato if they're on the desk. If they're in the bin, we're just going to ignore them for now. They can be smashed together next week very easily. So. Yay, we're almost done this part. If you're like, Katie, why aren't you just going to finish the needle stashes tonight? Because I'll have more mental power probably to do the other work tonight. Mental fortitude. Hopefully. If I don't, then we'll just sew needle stashers, because really, what does it matter at that point? Everything's moving us forward. That's what matters. I swear I ironed these, but apparently some of them refuse to be ironed. Oh well. $11 more. 11 more. 11 more. 3 more, 3 more, 3 more. Yay. Yeah, these will need a little bit trimmed down too because I was apparently a little bit more generous with the lining than I thought. That's fine. I prefer to be more generous with the lining than not generous enough with the lining, to be honest. Whee! Alright, last one. No, it's only 4:30. Okay. Well, okay. Let's try and work for like 10 more minutes on what? I don't know yet. But, that is all the needle stashers at least sewn long ways. And then we have to go in and trim everything down and do the sideways. Which, again, that's a good task while the kiddos are home. So we'll leave that for then. Either tonight or like this weekend. There we go. You can go back there. There's so many tote bags to sew and they're not selling, which yay. That's okay. The thing about it too is if I didn't have all the tote bags, then it would show up to Knit City and everyone would be like, where's the tote bags? That's the thing. It's hard to determine what's going to be like popular and what's not. So okay. Small box bags, small box bags, small box bags. Small box bags are definitely popular enough to put the time into them now, and that was a good chunk off the table back there, and we are at the point where we need some taggedy tags. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cotton linen blend tags. Okay. I gotta figure out a better solution or a solution for tags because I am going to probably run out this summer. Probably during Knit City prep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18 cottons, and look at that, 4 cotton linen blends, which is perfect because we've got 5 here. Just gonna pop them all on top and then we have them. 18 cotton, 18 cotton. Ugh. 18. Sweet. Okay. Oh, man. 18. One, so we'll cut 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Necessarily need those? Probably not, but that's okay. Now they're ready. And for some reason, there's a pair of snips down here. Okay, actually that's another thing we can do. So yeah, that's what I'll do when the kids are home tonight is keep saying that we're going to do the kato bags, but the kato bags at this point need to be all clipped. So that is an extremely good task to do while the kids are home. They can go outside or something like that, and I can sit on the deck with them and clip bags. Ho, 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 ho. Excellent. All right. 4:40. As much as I'm like, I should do this, I am going to actually head out. Okay, we'll do this last seam. And then, yeah, actually, because I got to close up for the day. All my windows are open and everything like that. Okay, so when I get back, we will have kato clipped, hopefully. All best laid plans. We will have kato clipped, and I will also have kato clipped. That's the goal for this evening while the kids are home before I come back on for stream. So I'll chat with y'all hopefully in about 4 hours, maybe 4.5. And we'll start working on the other items for today. So thanks so much for joining me for now, and I'll chat with y'all soon. Bye.